be with you. Henry, I was wondering when you'd turn up.
Hey, my lovely. Zizka told me you found something out about Liechtenstein.
If only just Liechtenstein. I've only been here a couple of days, but I seem to know everything about this city and its sinful people. And about the Pope, the second Pope, Sigismund, Wenceslas, about the sickness of old men, the desires of young men, who I sometimes have to beat off with a stick. Simply everything. The tavern seems to be the fount of all knowledge.
Well, working in a tavern can't be easy for a woman like you.
What do you mean, a woman like me?
A beautiful woman. Does anyone harass you? Just say the word and I'll take care of it.
Ah, don't you worry, love. I can take care of myself.
But anyway, about Liechtenstein. Anything new?
Well, there might be something. One of the girls I talked to told me her sweetheart frequents some nasty alehouse. And one of the regulars there recently started buying drinks for the whole house. Which is suspicious, because this fella is practically a beggar. Goatskin, they call him. They asked him where he got the coin, and he boasted that he was spying for some rich lord.
All right. That sounds promising.
Of course, it doesn't have to be Liechtenstein, but there can't be that many rich men who pay spies. And we have to start somewhere.
That's true. And you've spoken to this goatskin fella?
Not yet. I was rather hoping you'd do it. That grubby alehouse is a bit too wild, even for me.
That's saying something. Well, trying to get sense out of drunken wretches is quite a skill of mine. Does this place have a name?
I'm not sure if it's a name, but the locals call it the Hole in the Wall.
I see the owner's got a sense of humor.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's a joke. You'll find it in Hot Prink. There's no other alehouse in that quarter.
So goatskin in the hole in the wall. I reckon I remember that. I'll go and check it out.
Before you go, I wanted to ask. Nobody ever told me why we're actually looking for this Liechtenstein fella.
Do you remember how we were tortured in Trotsky?
That's not something that's easy to forget.
Istvan asked us about Liechtenstein. And we revealed to him that he's here. Istvan sent Eric to tell von Burgov about it. His life might be in danger because of us.
All right. But who is he and what is he doing here?
He's a young noble from Jobst's council. His family have domains in Moravia and Lower Austria. He's here to gather information about the enemy for Jobst. And judging by how important it was for Istvan to find out where he is, he's a real thorn in their side. And they're out to get him.
So we're getting involved in noble men's schemes again. That means trouble.
I'll do my best not to get us mixed up in all that.
Sure you will. But it can't be helped. There's a war on, and we have to fight. Watch out for yourself, Henry. I have a bad feeling about that district.
You're not the only one. I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin.
What's that got to do with me? If you want to nose around here, you'll have to go through Chenyek.
Could you tell me more about this Chenyek?
No, I couldn't. We don't talk to strangers here.
Could you tell me more about this Chenyek?
No, I couldn't.
And where can I find this Chenyek?
How do I know? He'll be round here somewhere. Or not. See if he's with Hugo.
And who's he?
You'll recognize him.
And where
How do I...
And who's he? Right. I'm gonna see if I can find that Chenyek.
Here it is. Greetings. Do you need something?
Service is kind of slow today.
I'll be right there.
Thanks.
A regular for life. And beyond. I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin. Do you know him?
Aye. But I reckon I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
Why not?
Because I don't know you, and you don't look like you fit in here.
Who are you? And your people?
Well, I'm Chenyek.
Alright. But why all that horse shit about whether I'd fit in with you or not?
Look at it like this. This is a place for a certain sort of people what have their own rules. Although folk usually think we don't play by no rules.
I reckon I see now.
Grand.
Look, I completely understand you. Evil times, spies everywhere. You must have been stumped by this gear of mine. Thing is, I necked him from some student bloke in Colleen, innit? I ganged up with this slut called Kacharaba. She got her hooks in him when he'd had a skinful, and then I nicked all his gear and his glint. Poor bloke must have been mithered in the morning. Funny thing is, Kacharaba's as ugly as a pig's arse, so he didn't even get a decent shag out of it.
So you're in the trade. Should have said straight off. Our door's always open to the brethren. What was it you wanted to know?
I'm looking for Goatskin. I hear he used to come here.
Aye. Thing is, ain't nobody seen him here for a few days.
But he used to come here.
Aye. He was here day in, day out. Only this time some burly lads came here and duffed him up proper.
Do you know the men who beat him up?
No, but there were some Jews among them, and that's pretty odd, seeing as how they don't usually get mixed up in nothing.
Why did they give him such a beating? Did they say anything?
Well, Goatskin is a right knob end. Always asking for it, he is. But I reckon this time it was about his big gob. The last week he was coming, throwing glint around. And when we squeezed him about where he got the coin, he said he was spying for some lord.
And does this lord have a name?
He didn't say. We didn't swallow his yarn about spying anyway. We reckoned he made a score and just wanted to look like a big man.
What happened to Goatskin? Does anyone know where he is now?
No word. But I reckon he's holed up somewhere, licking his wounds. Seems he stuck his nose in a wasp's nest, and he won't be sticking it out again for a while. If you're going to look for him, try it at night. You don't stray far when he's on the job. Usually between Hradek and the horse market. He goes after drunks. So I try asking in the local drinking dens.
All right. What does he look like, though? He can't be the only fella who likes to relieve drunks of their purses.
God's truth. But you'll know Goatskin when you see him. They call him that on account of how he got kicked in the head by a goat as a nipper. He's got a dent in his forehead you could use for a game of marbles.
Why didn't you defend Goatskin? Isn't he one of you?
He is and he ain't.
What can I get for you?
I'm no saint, but that Goatskin stepped in some nasty shit and then walked it in our door and all. I ain't saying we don't look out for each other, but there's limits, innit?
I'm sure you know the town better than me. What drinking dens are there on Goatskin's patch?
Between the horse market and Hradek, there's the Black Horse, a miner's tavern. Wayman the taverner used to be a miner. And then there's the big bathhouse. It belongs to some bloke called Adam. He tarted the place up big.
Any others?
None I know.
Thanks. I'll go and look for him.
I wish you luck then. He ain't the brightest, but he's got a real talent for saving his own skin. Once you're done with him, come by and see us. Seems after all you're a pretty handy bloke. We could use the likes of you.
I'll stop by later and we'll see what comes of it.
Grand.
What would you like, sir?
Courage.
Greetings.
I'm looking for this vagabond. Goes by the name of Goatskin.
Is he a miner?
Don't think so. A thief, more like.
Yeah, I'd ask the miners in any case. I only pop in now and again, but they're here all the time.
I'm looking for someone called Goatskin. I hear he hangs around here.
Goatskin? That mangy piece of shit. He turns up on the street now and then. But he never shows his face in my alehouse. No Germans come here. Some Gluck.
Goatskin's German? I didn't know that.
Goatskin's above all a slippery bastard who can't be trusted. I've no idea what language he speaks. What I do know is he likes robbing Deutscher merchants. And they don't come in here.
It sounds like you're not too fond of Germans.
It's the local yakkers who can't stand them. I've got nothing against them fuckers myself. If you've got glint, come in and make yourself at home. If you ain't, then fuck off.
Any idea where I might find Goatskin, then?
You could try asking in the bathhouse, behind the yards in Hradec Quarter. They get a lot of well-heeled Deutschers in there. And some young wench there's been seeing Goatskin for a while now.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
Have something at least, since I gave you the goods on everything. I helped you out, didn't I? Don't be a pinch purse, and cough up a bit of glint, eh?
Do you get a lot of German merchants here?
We used to. From all over the place. But mainly Lausitz. But there ain't so many these days. Unfortunately.
How come?
I don't know. But it's a pity. Merchants tend to have bulging purses. They'll come back though. But there's one who ain't stopped coming. Udo, he's called. But that's all I can tell you about him. He ain't interested in our services.
He just drinks here.
Drinks and plays dice. Almost every evening.
Thanks.
You're welcome. But stick around and spend some coin. So I ain't telling you this for nothing. Farewell. What did I come here for? Oh.
I apologize.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
What can I do for you, sir?
I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin. Do you know him?
Do I know him? That fucker is the bane of our lives. Why are you even looking for an idiot like him?
He knows some things that I'd like to know too.
What would he know? A mangy vagabond?
Do you know where he might be?
How should I know? If I knew, I'd have told Adam long ago. He'd wring the bastard's neck in a trice. Last week alone, he robbed 3 of our customers. All German.
You know Goatskin's seeing one of your girls.
What? Nonsense. I mean, I wouldn't put anything past my girls, but I can't believe they choose to hang out with a vagabond like that.
That's what I heard.
Everyone badmouths whores. You know what it's like. Nobody stands up for them. But if it's true, then as soon as I found out who, she'll be out on her arse.
Thanks. I'll be going.
You're welcome. And have a word with Adam if you really want to find your Goatskin. He's the owner. I reckon he'd be keen to find him too. Farewell.
It happens.
Just watch where you're going next time.
Greetings, sir. What would you like?
I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin. I heard he sometimes comes here.
Aye, he turns up now and again. The louse. The bastard's ruining my business. 2 of my customers refused to come here again after he robbed them one night.
That's not very nice. And you wouldn't have some idea where I might find Goatskin, would you? I reckon it'd suit you if he packed it in.
You bet it would. But if I knew where to find him, I'd wring his neck myself. That bitch Mary's bound to know, though. She denies it, but we all know she's walking out with him.
I thought you bathhouse girls stuck together. What have you got against Mary?
There's a limit to everything. As soon as you mess with someone's livelihood, you ain't no sister to anyone. She can marry that cripple for all I care, but when he robs our guests and ruins our reputation, she should grab him by the balls herself and... oh, never mind.
Is that all you know about Goatskin?
Ain't that enough for you? I'm not here to know stuff, in case you hadn't realised.
Thanks then. I'll be off.
If you find him, give him a slap from me.
Take care, then.
Have been singing your praises recently. I do the best I can.
I'm glad to hear it.
Bring me
Well,
something to eat.
when I wash their hair, I give them a head and neck massage as well. And I give their backs a proper kneading. All the girls do that.
Careful!
I'm looking for someone called Goatskin. And the innkeeper said you want to find him too.
You're damn right I do. That lousy bastard robs my customers. Deutschers mostly. And they're the very ones that pay best. What's worse, word's got around already. If you get hold of him, well, there's something I'd like to sort out with him.
Sort out? That could mean lots of things.
Nothing nasty, don't worry. Besides the Germans. Goatskin also robbed a scholar from Prague. Jan Schindel he's called. And I reckon he has friends in high places, because he went straight to the city council. Not good for business.
How will it help you if I find Goatskin?
Schindel complained to the council mainly because Goatskin nicked some scholarly stuff of his. He's one of them fanatic crackpots. So if you tracked down his things and returned them to him, he might drop his complaint.
Any idea what the scholarly stuff was? Books?
No idea. But he said something about constellations, and then something in Latin.
I'll see if I can find his things.
Great. If you find anything, take it straight to Schindel. He lives in the house of Vetter the scribe. And don't forget to tell him I sent you.
Right you are. Now, about that Goatskin.
What do you want to know?
Do you know where to find him?
Not the faintest idea. If I knew, we wouldn't be having this chat. I asked at the Black Horse. Dirty miners, right riffraff, that lot.
What did they tell you?
They claimed not to know anything, but they couldn't stop smirking, bastards.
Have you ever seen him up close? Can you tell me what he looks like?
Like any other tramp. Filthy and disgusting. And he's got a dent in his head the nippers could use for a game of marbles. I reckon that's where his wits fell out. And he's hardly got any teeth. But what would you expect?
You wouldn't happen to have a German customer here now, would you?
I reckon not. But I'm not sure. Ask the girls. Just please, don't interrogate my guests, all right?
I'll go and look somewhere else now.
Aye. If you do find him, watch out. He may look like a half-wit, but he's a right slippery snake.
Right.
Leb wohl, mein Herr.
The Lord be with you. What do you need?
Have you got anything good to drink here?
Of course I do, handsome. Would you like some? And then maybe we can have a bit of fun. How about it?
No, thanks.
Suit yourself, handsome. Your loss.
I'm looking for Goatskin. Do you know him?
Nay, you're a good-looking fella. What would I want with some goat skin when I've got a handsome young buck right here in front of me? I couldn't care less about your goat skin.
But I do. And the girls here tell me you know him quite well.
So, you're not here to have a good time. Shame. I know Goatskin, but don't expect me to tell you anything. He's lying low, and for good reason. You ain't the first to come looking for him.
Why is he hiding? Who from?
How should I know? He's never far from trouble. Goes with his trade, doesn't it?
Where is he hiding?
I don't know. And even if I did, I don't see why I should tell you. That's why he's hiding. So strangers like you don't find him.
Look, I'll find him either way. I found slippier bastards than that goatskin of yours. And if I'm in a good mood when I find him, I might not even hurt him. But if you keep making it difficult for me, I'm going to lose my patience. And then it's going to get nasty. For both you and Goatskin. So what'll it be?
Jesus. What did that fella get me mixed up in this time? Calm down, dearie. You don't have to start throwing threats around.
Do you find me threatening?
Quite a bit. And I've seen a thing or two in this job.
I'll take that as a compliment. Come on then, spill it. Where's Goatskin?
There's a yard behind the bathhouse leading to a side alley. Right next to it is the Black Horse Tavern. And at the opposite end, you'll see a barn behind a wall. There's a funny little window at the top. That's where.
I'll look for it.
Please don't hurt him, though. He's not bad, just a bit peculiar.
We'll see.
Take care, sir. Christ! Pardon me.
Money, friend? Aye, true enough.
This looks like the barn Mary was talking about. But how to get in there?
I wouldn't leave it till the last moment this year. So, have you got any ideas? God be with you.
A fountain?
Oh, it's you.
Where does the water come from?
Ready?
Looks
Here,
like it,
in the middle of the
doesn't
city.
It sure does. Go on then. How was it?
What can I say? What? Can you help me out?
Netta wow wow. Liebe Hund.
Well, well. Look who we have here. You must be Goatskin, eh?
What? What are you doing here?
What do you think? Looking for you.
But I'm hiding. I shouldn't be talking to anyone.
But I found you. So you're not hidden anymore. I have a couple of questions for you.
Look, I didn't. I never told nobody. Nobody. I swear. I'll even swear to Samuel and his God if he wants.
Who the hell is Samuel?
You weren't sent by Sam.
I wouldn't be asking you if I was, would I?
You know, like, I promise not to talk about it no more. They'll kill me otherwise.
I get that, but do you think they'll just forget about it? How long do you intend to hide?
Until I have enough. You know, glint to take off.
Well, I could help you with that. I know a lot of people. Getting you out of town won't be a problem. If you help me, I'll help you.
That sounds, you know, promising. But I still need coin. I can't just pack up and take off.
Coin shouldn't be a problem. How much do you want so you can disappear in peace?
Not much, a few score groschen. But that won't be a problem for a well-heeled fella like yourself.
Here you are. But you're gonna talk, right?
Right. Well, I like talking, you know, like... What is it you want to know?
I heard you were spying for some nobleman. Is that true?
I was doing nothing, but, you know, like, I was spying for 2 weeks.
Who is this Samuel you're so afraid of?
He just hired me. He's one of them lot. You know, them Jews, innit? He was nice to me till I started blabbering.
Do you know where I could find this Samuel?
Go to that, you know, synagogue. He hangs around it in front of it and people, like, brings him news of what's on the grapevine, you know. And evenings he sits around at the King Solomon. It's like a, you know, a Jewish tavern. But watch out. They ain't too welcoming towards our people there.
Have you ever heard the name Liechtenstein?
I don't know him, but I heard Samuel telling his people, like them Jews, I mean, about this, what's his name? Liechtenstein.
What exactly did he say? Did he speak about him in a good way or a bad way?
I don't know. I just remembered a funny name. I don't pay much heed to things that what don't concern me.
What is it you did as a spy?
Mostly I was standing guard in front of that palace, you know, like Rutard's place. I was watching for who was going in and out, see? You know, who, with who, where, when, and that.
And what went on there?
Well, people was coming and going, all sorts of nobles, and I'd tell Samuel what colours they was carrying, see? I was good at that. I remember pictures good, you know?
And there's another thing. Those things you stole from that scholar? You know what I mean?
That... What about it, like?
What happened to them? The owner wants them back.
I still have them.
Where?
In them secret, you know, tunnels under the city.
Tunnels? Secret passageways? Stop blethering and tell me where it is.
I ain't blathering. It's in the passageways beneath the city. I can find it. I've learnt the way. And if you give me a couple of groschen, I can teach you too. You can clear out my stash, and judging by the look of you, knowing your way round, you know, underground like, that ought to come in handy for you, innit?
Look, Goatskin, just because I was nice to you once, doesn't mean you can fuck with me now. Tell me what you know right this instant, or I'm gonna lose my temper.
Well, no need to fly off the handle, like... I'll tell you, of course. I was just thinking...
Goatskin, spit it out!
Oh, all right. It's like this. I know them passageways because I got my hands on this map, like. This old thief gave it to me. And when I, you know, got it in my head, like, I flogged it, see?
A treasure map? You're yanking my pizzle, aren't you?
No. I swear, on my Mars soul. It ain't a treasure map, it's a map of what's below ground.
Big difference. Where's this map, then?
I flogged it to this thief. Angel, he called himself.
Called himself? So this angel is back in heaven now, is he?
Aye, he was hanged outside the city walls. He's still swinging there. And I know he had that map sewn into his coat. It were his most prized possession. But watch out, the gallows is guarded to stop quacks cutting off the dead bodies, bits and pieces, fingers and that, like.
Thanks. You've been a great help.
That's me through and through, innit? I'd better be off, like. I've got a long journey ahead of me.
Off you go. God be with you.
Sholem, are you lost? Or what would a goy want here?
What do you think goy means?
It means you do not belong here.
It means nation in Hebrew. So you're just as much a goy as I am.
Good one. A goy lecturing a Jew on Hebrew. All right. But I suggest you do not repeat it around these parts. Not everyone is as tolerant as I. So, what do you want?
I'm looking for someone called Samuel.
What do you want with him?
Is that you?
There are many Samuels here. And if I'm not good enough for you, I'm afraid nobody else will talk to you.
All right. I'm looking for John of Liechtenstein. I heard you, or this Samuel, might know something about him.
I'm sure Samuel knows a lot. But I do not see why he should tell you.
It isn't just anyone looking for Liechtenstein. It'd be better for Samuel to say what he knows, if he doesn't want any unnecessary trouble.
I do not care who sent you. You will not impress me like that. We play by my rules here.
So how can I impress you?
Impressions are worth nothing. I'm only of interest to you Goyim when you need something. To you, I'm just a dirty Jew.
All right. What do you suggest?
An exchange. Something in return. I have this one problem none of my people can fix.
Now, if your people can't handle it, why not?
You are no better than my people. But unfortunately, they were all born under our star, and that is a problem in this case.
I understand. What's this about, then?
You probably know that my people face outbreaks of hatred from time to time. A house is plundered, people beaten up, sometimes murdered. Usually it is started by some scum spreading rumors that we eat Christian babies or poison wells. They always find some excuse. I have heard that such people are meeting in an old abandoned house by the wall in the mining district. I need someone to get among them, find out what they are planning, and warn us in good time.
All right. I'll do it. And then you'll tell me all about Liechtenstein.
Agreed. They usually meet at the start of the day.
At the start of the day according to my calendar, or yours?
I see you're in the know. At the start of my day, so when the first 3 stars come out.
Right. So they meet after sunset. The miners' district, an abandoned house with a small yard by the ramparts.
That's right. I reckon you can still catch up with them there today. If you get them to let you join them. Try and find out what they're planning, and then come and see me, and you'll have fulfilled your side of the deal.
And then you'll tell me how to find Liechtenstein?
That was my promise. And I keep my promises.
Hey! Hey! Open up! Open up!
Underworld, what are you doing, Moishe?
Futsa Capora, piece of junk. Never mind. We'll cut this shit down.
Shit ist zum Teufel!
You want to try me?
Zeig, was du drauf
That was something.
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker! Come on, then!
You're no match for us, fucker!
What the fuck was that?
Wait, wait! Don't kill him! You're gonna beg for mercy? After this?
We can make a deal. We have some of your people, we can exchange them.
Our people? What the hell are you talking about?
We caught some of them yesterday, trying to get to Liechtenstein, just like you.
No, I'm after Liechtenstein because I need to talk to him. I'm not his enemy. But if you know where he is, you better take me to him. Right now.
I have my orders. I'm not supposed to let anyone near him. Especially not someone who just beat my 2 best men. I'm not a fool.
Right. I'll go unarmed. If that'll convince you.
I'll trust you. But in return, you have to trust me. You can't see where we're going.
All right. But no tricks.
Those are the rules.
Wait. Who is that somewhere?
We will soon find out. Let us in.
Wenches or the neighbor's daughter, any dirt you can dig up. Off you go! Oh, who have you brought now, Sam?
I'm not entirely sure. But he says he knows you, and absolutely insisted he had to talk to you.
Ah. Of course. Henry. Lord Capon of Perkstein's page. We met on my visit to Rattay. He's all right.
Lord Capon's escort. And bodyguard.
Quite. Quite. But tell me, what brings you here?
Well, that's quite a long story, sir.
I've got plenty of time, and actually I enjoy long stories. You know why? because they demand a lot of wine. Please, take a seat and tell me everything.
If I'm not mistaken, Jobst sent you to von Berkhoff with a message. How did that go?
In a word, badly.
Oh, how's that?
I hardly know where to start. I'm lucky to be alive. In any case, neither von Berghoff nor the League of Lords are planning to join Jobst.
Good God! I need a drink now. But did you manage to deliver the message in the end?
We did.
And? What was von Berkhoff's reaction?
That bastard first used us, and then wanted to get rid of us. We only just avoided being killed.
Sacre. So there's no chance the League of Lords will turn against Sigismund?
No chance. On the contrary, von Berghoff and von Aulitz came here to Kuttenberg to be at Sigismund's beck and call.
Christ. And what are you doing here, actually?
I came here with a man called Zizka.
Zizka? Jan Zizka of Trotznov?
You know him?
Of course I do. Zizka is in the service of Prokop of Luxembourg, King Wenceslas's cousin.
Aye, we found that out as well. What was strange was that his band was infiltrated by Istvan Toth, if you remember.
That rat from Talmberg. What was he doing there?
It turned out he was spying for von Berghoff. But he didn't do a great job, fortunately. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
I am starting to get confused.
That makes two of us. Maybe we'll understand better if we get drunk.
You're not holding back, I see. Your health, then. After Zizka took us prisoner, it finally became clear we were on the same side, and Istvan had to flee.
So the fucker's still alive?
Not any longer.
You? Well done. Let's drink to that.
To our enemy's death.
Just when we thought we were out of the woods and Istvan was gone, he appeared outside the walls of Nabokov again, with von Berghoff and Markvart von Aulitz. Von Aulitz was on his way to Kuttenberg with reinforcements for Sigismund. And with the finger of God.
With the what?
A bombard.
Good Lord!
Have you ever seen one? I hadn't, until they used it against us.
I've heard about the bombard. An infernal weapon. Then what?
We didn't have a chance. They blew the tower to pieces and took us all prisoner. They took us to Trotsky and tortured us. But with the help of a woman who works with Zizka, we managed to escape.
Zizka. That man always has a trick or two in reserve.
Thank God. While we were making our escape, I crossed paths with Toth, and finally took my revenge for everything he did.
Dull moment with you, I see. To happy endings, then. And where is Lord Capon? Or should I call him the Prince of Poachers?
Well, the most fitting thing to call him would be hostage, because that's what he is now.
A hostage?
That's right. Von Berghoff took him with him. And that's why I'm here, in fact.
Your original plan went badly awry, I must say.
You can say that again.
For my part, I'm forced into hiding, as you've probably noticed. They're after me as if I owed taxes. Ah, if only I knew what Jobst would say.
I know exactly what he'd say as it happens.
You do?
I spoke to Jobst just after we arrived at Suchdal. He expressly forbade me to look for you, or try to rescue Capon.
That damned... Did he say why?
Aye. He said you can look after yourself. And as a nobleman, Capon has nothing to fear in captivity.
Ah, Jobst.
I must admit, I see his point. He has plans. He wants to take advantage of the truce while it lasts. And he doesn't want to provoke Sigismund into starting warring again. And he's probably right about Capon. Nobody's going to throw away the chance of a fat ransom, or waste a nice opportunity for blackmail.
It's true I can take care of myself, but the old schemer could at least have warned me, whatever his plans might be.
Zizka sees Jobst as a pain in the arse, too. I mean, he's not fond of him. And he doesn't approve of his plan.
Then I expect he and I will see eye to eye. Although I prefer a different strategy to braining all and sundry with a mace. Even so, what brings you to me? You didn't take this risk just to tell me what Jobst is like, or that I should carry on with what I'm doing.
No. My first concern is to rescue Lord Capon, whatever schemes Jobst is dreaming up.
And then...
And also, it's about your safety.
My safety?
You know, they tortured us. Zizka, Godwin and me. They asked about Jobst's plans and about you. I'd have held out, but Godwin... He told them where you were.
Where I am? In this city, you mean? That's not such a terrible betrayal. Gutenberg is a big city. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Not that they have not tried. They almost caught you a couple of times. If it were not for my people.
That's true, of course. But I'm not going to bear a grudge. The executioner always gets what he wants. And if he hadn't, we wouldn't be talking right now.
Thank you. You don't know how much it means to me.
Don't worry your head over it. If I was tortured, I'd tell them everything I knew before the iron was hot.
Well, thanks.
But I'd regret it as well. I don't like pain, that's all. Nevertheless, let's turn the page. Capon. How do you plan to free him?
That's exactly why I came to see you.
Oh, how's that?
Because you know how to do it. Don't you?
You have a lot of confidence in me.
Well, I don't have many options. Well then, am I right?
Sigismund confiscated the property of some burghers and noblemen in the city when they opposed him, and he divided the property up between his loyal followers. He seized Malyshoff Fortress from the Rutards, for instance. And didn't you say, Sam, that he gifted it to von Berkoff?
Yes, that is so.
That was before von Berkoff was in these parts. But if he's here now, where else would he be but in Malyshoff? And if von Berkoff is there...
That's where his captive will be.
Correct. Capon is at Malyshoff Fortress.
Well, that's fucked then. How the hell three of us conquer a fortress, and one of us a woman?
That's a conquest I'd like to see. It would go down in history.
The history of suicidal madness.
You can't just launch an assault on Malyshoff. It's a strong fortress. We'll need a cunning plan.
Or long ladders and lots of men. That could be arranged, maybe.
Careful! Jobst ordered us not to stir up trouble. And this would be serious trouble. But if Capon simply vanished...
Vanished how, exactly?
I don't know yet. But like I said, Malyshoff belonged to the Rutards. And I'm sure they're not keen on the new tenant. I think if you pay a visit to Sir Kunslin Rutard and convince him you have common interests, he'll be happy to think up a solution with you.
Like what?
Who knows? Perhaps Lord Rutard knows of a back door into his old home, and he might not be averse to an arrangement with someone who will help him take revenge.
Someone like you.
Well, I wouldn't get my hopes up. But it's the best we've got, and there's no harm in trying. Where can I find this Kunzlin?
Sigismund seized his fortress, but, surprisingly, he let him keep his palace in the city. It's right next to the Italian court.
All right. I'll give it a go.
Once you have some news, you know where to find me. Is there anything you want to know before you go?
Come to think of it, I've no idea where we actually are.
Of course. I'd forgotten how you got here.
We're in the Jewish quarter, in the basement of the King Solomon Tavern, below my tavern. Goyim do not just wander in here, but I will tell my people you are with us.
Thanks a whole lot. All right, I'll set off now.
Good luck. It was good to see you again, Henry. And be careful. There's bound to be spies swarming around the palace. This city isn't safe.
Tell me about it. Danger is my daily bread these days.
I have not changed my answer. I will not sell you the rights to my mines. Not today, not tomorrow, nor in 100 years. You will not get your hands on my silver.
You forget I have influential friends. If you won't sell the mines, you'll lose them. Just like Malishov. Along with your life, if you defy me.
Mind your step. Two can play that game. Did you really think that I didn't know you were stealing the royal silver, eh? When your self-proclaimed king finds that out, your head will be on the chopping block.
Seize that traitor!
Not another step.
You'll get yours too, turtle dove. What are you waiting for? Can't you see? They're threatening the Royal Mint Master!
He's one of them! Get him! We'll kick you out. Fucking hell! Die! Take that fucker out! Die! Don't spare him! Take that! Regret that, fucker!
You can't stand up to this! Blood!
Damn. They gave me a going over. Good thing you showed up, lad.
You all right, sir? Looks like you took some hits.
It's just a scratch.
Papa! My God! You're hurt!
I'm all right. What the hell was that, Rosa?
I saved your life. Didn't you notice?
We would have been in the right if you hadn't taken the shot. Now we have the blood of the king's men on our hands. Do you have any idea what this means?
Was I supposed to let one of Sigismund's lackeys insult us in our own home?
And you thought this was a better solution?
You know what? Let's just leave it be. I don't want to argue in front of the young man here. Apologies for the mess, stranger. There aren't usually so many corpses strewn about our courtyard.
Apology accepted.
We'll call the guards and tell them what happened. That Ulrich Vavak and his men attacked us for no reason.
You think that will make them let us off the hook?
Not for free. But knowing young Plymouth, the commander of the guard, I'm sure he won't refuse my coin. But back to you, lad. Who are you? And why have you graced us with your visit?
I'm Henry of Scalitz, squire to Lord Capon of Perkstein.
Pleased to meet you. Conslin Routard. And this feisty creature here is my daughter Rosa.
Like father, like daughter.
Why did your master send you to me, Henry?
He didn't, sir. Unfortunately, he's in enemy captivity.
We're sorry to hear that.
But I plan to rescue him. And I believe you can help me with that.
We can? How?
Lord Capon is held at Malashov.
Our Malashov? I don't envy him. I was planning on fixing the roof before they took it from us. It's full of leaks. I doubt its new master will lift a finger to do anything about it. But tell me, why would I meddle in matters that don't concern me?
Well, we all stand on the same side. Against Sigismund.
That is undoubtedly true. I don't like that ginger bastard either. Especially since his people started sticking their fingers in my coffers. But to get involved in something as dangerous as freeing a captured nobleman in a territory conquered by Sigismund?
We have to do something to help. I know it's dangerous.
Dangerous? It's madness. What if somebody finds out?
Nobody will know.
You haven't been in Kuttenberg for long, have you? The walls have ears here. I'd only end up with my head on the chopping block. And I don't even want to think about what they'd do to Rosa.
That's true. As long as Vavak's breathing down our necks, we have to be careful.
Who is he, anyway?
Ulrich Vavak von Neuhaus. The new mint master appointed by Sigismund himself. He's had it in for us ever since he took over the office. He's been pressuring me to hand over my mining rights. It seems he'd like to see me reduced to a beggar. And now we've killed his men. The king's men. I'll have to reach deep into my pocket to get out of that. Like Rosa said, lad, as long as Vavak is around, my hands are tied. I'm sorry.
We will have to untie your hands then. What should I do?
There might be something. It's obvious Vavak is getting richer than his office warrants. There are rumors going around that he's stealing the king's silver. He even uses it to mint counterfeit groschen, using a fake die. If Sigismund were to find out, he'd have him executed at once, regardless of his noble blood.
But you need evidence to make such an accusation, right?
Exactly.
But how do we find it?
Some of the silver goes missing somewhere along the way to the mint. And we have to find out where.
Find out? But how? They don't let just anyone into the mines and smelting works.
You're right. Only authorized people are allowed in. Fortunately, we have an ally. My friend Peter of Pisek. They ousted him from the Mint Master's office, but his brother Christian remained in the Italian court. He wanted to become the Mint Master himself, but because of Vavak, he had to settle for the steward's office. He hates him even more than we do on account of it.
And that's saying something.
Christian and I were just talking about his suspicions. He'd welcome any dirt you can dig up on Vavak, just as much as I would. If you go to him and ask for help on my behalf, I'm sure he'll accommodate you. I'll help you free Lord Capon in exchange for evidence of Vavak's fraud. That's fair, isn't it?
It's a deal. I've already met Peter of Pisek, and I know he can be trusted. Let's hope the same goes for his brother.
Excellent. You'll find Christian and Horshan at the estate near the mines. Tell him the password, Via Argentum, the path of silver. He'll know who he's dealing with. But be careful, both of you. This is our last chance to stop Vavak.
We'll be praying for you.
God be with you. Keep the peace, and we'll stay friends.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift.
I don't have time to discuss it with Paul. You'll be watching it from now on, all right? Or I'll have to find another vet.
You can't just sack me, steward. I got this job from Ulrich von Neuhaus.
But I can make sure he knows how you run the place. That's the 5th yucca who got scrushed in here.
This is some jiggery pokery.
Be quiet. And now clear off. Hey, you!
You're a Christian of Pisek?
I am. What do you need?
Kunzlin Ruthard sent me. About Via Argentum.
I see. But I'm afraid I don't have good news for Sir Kunzling. I haven't made much progress regarding the matter we discussed. I just don't have the time to investigate. I'm always needed somewhere, and there's always someone following me around.
Have you found out anything at all?
Just rumors. And those are useless. What's your name?
Henry.
All right. Listen up, Henry. Nobody can know I'm looking into it. It's a very dangerous game. If Sir Kunzling trusts you, you could help me in my investigation.
Well, that's actually why I'm here.
Excellent. Excellent. You don't happen to come from a family of miners or smelters, do you?
My father was a blacksmith.
It's a fine craft. But it won't teach you much about silver mining and processing. I'll be happy to tell you everything you need to know. Now, follow me, please. We need to talk somewhere in private.
Where should I start looking?
Straight to the point. I like that. We know for a fact the silver must be getting lost somewhere on its way to the mint. That means it would be best to discreetly inspect all operations and find out where the problem is. First of all, you should ask miners from every shift how many corves they mine in a day. After that, we'll compare the numbers to the mine record books and see.
But the yields aren't the same every day, right?
True. That's why we have to focus on one particular day. For example, the other day, on the Feast of St. Petronilla, Foreman Fett was beaming and bragging to me about how much it mined out.
So, I'm supposed to ask about the Feast of St. Petronilla?
It was just a few days ago. I reckon it'll be fresh in their memory. Nevertheless, the miners are a strange bunch. They might not be very forthcoming at first, and they have an odd way of speaking. Like calling each other Sonny, however old they are. But you'll hear for yourself. You should pretend to be really interested in them, and maybe they'll open up to you. You could be a scholar writing a treatise on silver mining, or perhaps a nobleman interested in buying a mine. Or just say I'm your distant uncle who's initiating you into the ins and outs of my job. It's up to you.
I reckon I could pose as a curious scholar.
Suit yourself. Just don't change your story so you don't arouse suspicion. But to the point, each day 3 shifts work in the shaft. Each has its foreman, or gaffer, as they say. The first shift is led by Frank, the second by Paul, and the third by Samko. You'll have to ask each one of them how many corves they mine. Samko's hewers should be off work now. You'll find the other 2 shifts in the mine. Take this, so the guards will let you in. It's a letter of safe conduct bearing my seal, allowing you free movement within the mine.
And what are you going to do?
I'll return to the estate to do my job. What else? I reckon they must be wondering where I am by now. Once you find out how many corves the 3 shifts mined on the Feast of St. Petronilla, return to me. We'll compare that number to the entry in the mine book. And don't forget, don't draw attention.
Who owns the silver that's mined here?
All the silver in the Kingdom of Bohemia belongs to the king, whether it's above ground or still below it. Though I'm sure you understand, the king has a lot on his mind, and he can't be expected to worry about mining. So he leases out the mining rights to his tenants. It's called the Burgergau. There's a lot of money in it. The tenants have to pay the king, and the king also receives a share of the pure silver from the smelting works. That's the royal tithe.
What is this path of silver, anyway?
It's the whole process, from digging the silver ore out of the ground and processing it, to minting silver coins. Silver is found in ore veins underground. The pitmen mine it and get it to the surface. The chief foreman of a gallery counts the corves, and the assayer estimates the purchase price of the ore for the smelter. The raw ore goes to the smelter, where it's crushed in a stamp mill before it can be purified by roasting. Roasted ore goes to the furnaces, where it's smelted into raw and then pure silver. Silver is then cast into rods about as thick as your little finger.
Can any silver get lost?
It can. And unfortunately, it does happen. It may be a capital offence, but even that won't deter everyone. Most often, a pitman tries to smuggle pieces of ore under his clothes. It doesn't end well. Nevertheless, the entire path of the silver, from the ore beneath the ground to minted coins, is closely guarded. Every step is recorded in the books, so if someone is stealing large quantities, they must have it pretty damn well figured out.
Who checks the royal share?
The royal mintmaster and his subordinates are responsible for collecting the royal share. That also means me and the shaft foreman. That is why every step of the path of silver is monitored and recorded, starting with how much ore is mined. The smelting works owners don't have to be monitored as closely, since they buy the ore from us. It's in their best interest to get the highest possible yield after deducting the royal share.
Who makes money from all this?
The thing is, everyone does. Pitmen get paid for mining in the shaft. Mine operators get paid for raw ore. The smelters then smelt everything, sell the pure silver, and deduct the raw tithe. The silver rubs off on the hands of anyone who even touches it. But there's still enough left over for the king.
Who owns the mines?
The king grants mining rights to his loyal subjects, and these leaseholders can rent out their privileges to other people. All sorts of people operate mines in Kuttenberg. Nobility, rich burghers, even the monastery. In fact, anyone with enough money to pay for new shafts to be dug can share in the proceeds.
Who's responsible for the mines?
The mines and the mint are supervised directly by the royal mintmaster, Ulrich Vervark von Neuhaus. As the steward, I'm his direct subordinate. I oversee that everything runs smoothly on his behalf. Then come the chief foreman, then the other foreman, and finally the ordinary pitmen in the shafts. But I don't come in contact with them very often. We follow the path of silver until the moment an ore merchant buys the ore from us and takes it to a smelter.
How much do the mines pay to the king?
That depends on whether it's a royal mine or a mine in the hands of a mining guild, meaning the leaseholders.
I thought all mines were owned by the king.
That's right. But it's much more profitable for the king to grant mining rights to rich mine operators. They bear the cost of mining themselves and pay him a share. The king receives 1/3 of the profits from his own mines, but only 1/5 from the leaseholders. That's how he gets what's his from all the mining.
What about the other 2/3 of the profits from the king's mines?
Those go towards the costs, of course, for operations, wages, and shaft security.
Who's responsible for the smelting works?
They have their own owners. They buy ore from us and smelt it into pure silver. Then they deduct the royal tithe and they can sell the rest. And not just silver. Processing the ore yields a variety of other materials that can be sold just as well.
What happens in the smelting works?
Each smelting shop has a stamp mill, a roasting pit, and a smelting furnace. The stamp mill is used to crush the ore into smaller pieces to make it easier to process. After that, the crushed ore is roasted in a roasting pit to remove most of the impurities. Finally, everything is smelted in a furnace to separate the pure silver from the slag.
So it's processed similarly to steel for smithing?
Yes, but in steelmaking, you don't have to weigh and record every step thrice.
How are groschen made from the silver?
The royal share from the smelting works goes to the mint in the Italian court. There, the coiners hammer it out into silver sheets for cutting the coin blanks. Then, in the Italian court's preghouse, our minters cut out and punch new groschen.
How many mints are there in total?
Only the main one is left, the one in the Italian court. There used to be more of them throughout the kingdom, but King Wenceslas II united them all. It was he who contributed the most to the rise of the Prague groschen and the wealth of this region. And of course, his own wealth too.
By the way, I've had the honour of meeting your brother, Peter.
Well, well. Small world.
He was a great help to us at Suchdol.
Even though we had some disagreements, I respect him for everything he succeeded in doing. If it weren't for him, I'd never have been able to do what I do.
Are you Foreman Samco?
Aye, I am. Who's asking?
My name is Henry. Steward Christian sent me to you. I'm a student from Prague, and I'm writing a treatise on miners and mine operations.
Why should I care? Didn't you see we're off graft?
Sir Christian told me to ask about anything that interests me, and that you'll tell me.
Ah, Sonny, I'm so tired. I haven't even got the strength for gabbing. I wouldn't mind having a game of dice, but minus rules. Then I'll tell you everything. What'd you say?
You should obey Sir Christian and just tell me what I want to know. You don't want him coming to you when you're off work to tell you off.
That I don't, kidder. Ask away, then.
What is the work of a miner about?
Aye, that's a good question, Mara. Mostly about oaking. Any yakker'll tell you that. But proper rest is even more important than graft. You're as weak as a midgie without it.
So how do you rest?
Depends. Some have a kip. Some a swally. Some go whoring. As for me, I play dice.
How do you mine ore?
Either we're on hard rock, and then no one's hewing shit, or we're hewing something soft, and then it goes grand. Only then there's not much silver in the ore, and you've got to smelt the shit out of it.
How much do you make doing this?
Don't even get me started. The chink's bad, and it's getting worse. Half a grosh and a cough is no.
How many corves did you mine on, say, the Feast of St. Petronilla?
I can tell you exactly. All the yakkers were working, and we were getting along nicely. We managed to howk 34 corves, without skimping on hame time. First time in ages, that was.
That's all I need to know. Foreman Frank?
What you looking for, Sonny? Can't you see we're Hewin?
Sir Christian of Pisek sent me. I'm a student at the university in Prague. Henry. I'm writing a treatise on silver mining.
I didn't know you scribblers were interested in us ordinary yakkers, but you can't just amble around. You'll cap your creels.
I just have a few questions.
The more we gab, the less we gar. But make it snappy, man. What do you want to know, like?
What is the work of a miner really about?
What's it about? Bugger all, kidder. No great shakes. We gans through the roads, Bella. Hewing off from rock in the dark and breathing in the stithe.
How exactly do you mine ore?
Bloody hell. Have you never seen a yakker graft, kidder? You take a kevel and ding away at the rock till it crumbles. And if you keep ganning at it for a couple of years and don't croak from the stithe, then you'll keel over from exhaustion or get scrushed by the ceiling of the road you're hewing.
How do you get the ore outside?
Same way it's hewed, in the dark and in coves. On top of that, you spend a lot of the bloody time on all fours. Once you get out by with the cough, you get a tally, and you can get back in by.
How much do you get for your work?
I'll tell you, man. Them deputies up at bank make a howfing pile of chink. But us buggers, the ones doing all the graft, we earn a pittance.
Can you give me a more specific number?
Sometimes, not even half a grosh and a cough. That's near way to make a living, man.
I wonder, how much do you mine in a day?
That depends on how much ore you howk out of this or that face. It varies.
How much did you mine, say, on the Feast of St. Petronilla?
Listen, kidder. Aren't you a bit too curious? Why do you need to know that for? Them numbers won't be useful to nobody.
I really need to know it for my work. My treatise won't be complete without it. Est rerum omnium magister usus. Experience is the best teacher. And you have that experience.
Aye, well, a clever head but a gawk-handed, eh? Alright, I'll tell ya. It was a good gar on the Feast of St. Petronilla. Our yakkers hewed 36 corves.
Thanks.
Nah, thank ye. Now leave us to hew, Mara. We've got a lot of graft ahead of us. See you soon, my friend.
Oh, excuse me.
Forth, we beseech thee.
Are you Foreman Paul?
Hey! You walk like a ghost, kidder. You gave me a bit of a fright there. Hold on. I don't know ye. Who are you? And what are you doing so deep in the pit?
My name's Henry. Sir Christian sent me. I'm a student at the university in Prague, and I'm writing a thesis on the life and lot of miners. Are you praying? Why?
The day before the Feast of St. Petronilla, a kidder was hawking here. Young jaybird, a young'un, still wet behind the ears. We dinged the berg, set it ablaze, all good. He took a mell, battered the fault, and the props spangued out. It all came crashing down on him. Done him right in, it did.
That's awful. I'm sorry about your friend.
He weren't just me marrow. He were my blood. I raised him from a nipper since my sister died. He kept begging me to take him on a shift, saying he was strong as a horse. Wouldn't it take no like. And now, I can't forgive myself.
Come on, it wasn't your fault. Accidents happen. It's God's will.
I suppose you're right. Will you pray with me for his soul one last time?
Aye. I'll pray with you.
You're a canny lad. Repeat after me. Almighty and merciful God, our Father, you are the giver of gold, silver, bronze, copper,
Almighty
tin,
and
iron,
merciful God,
and
our
all
Father,
ores and metals.
you are the giver
I ask
of
that
gold,
you bless my brother who has died in this
bronze,
mine.
copper,
And may
tin,
your holy angels save
iron,
his soul from
and all
damnation.
ores and
Bring his
metals.
soul to
I ask
eternal
that you bless
glory
my
through
brother
our Lord,
who has
our
died in
Saviour
this
and
mine.
Redeemer, Jesus
May your
Christ.
holy angels save
Amen.
his soul from
The
damnation.
angel of the Lord declared
Bring
unto
his
Mary,
soul to eternal
and she
glory
conceived the Holy
through
Spirit.
our Lord,
Hail
our
Mary.
Saviour and
And
Redeemer,
Mary said,
Jesus
Behold,
Christ.
I am the handmaid of
Amen.
the Lord. Be it done unto me according to thy word. Hail Mary. And the Word was made flesh, and dwelt among us. Hail Mary. Pray for us, O Holy Mother of God.
So, are you going to answer me now?
Aye. Thanks for praying with me. Ask a boot out.
What is the work of a miner about?
What it's about? It's about you in the face and hauling the ore to the bank in coves. Over and over again. Proper graft, that. Can be real dodgy, mind. Might even do you in.
Are deaths in the mine common?
Aye. But every death in the shaft is a waste. Whether it's in a crumple or black damp. Unfortunately, we still bury a yakka or two a month, you know. That's life like.
How is the ore mined?
First, we have to survey the shaft and find ore. Then the place gets scored and set ablaze. We set up timber around. The hewers take their tools and start dinging rock and hewing ore. Nothing to it.
How much do you make doing this?
Depends on how much we hawk. How hard the rock is, how much ore's in it. It's not really worth it, though. Half a grosh and a corf isn't much of a fight.
So how many corves did you mine, say, on the Feast of St. Petronilla?
That weren't a good day. Nobody was in the mood for ganning on after what happened to Jaybird. But even so, we managed to hawk 30 corves.
That's all I need to know. I already know how many corves the crews extracted on the Feast of St. Petronilla. It was 100 altogether.
I see. Meanwhile, I looked in the mine book. How many do you think it says there?
I'd guess it's less.
Then you'd be correct. The book lists 90 corves extracted. That means 10 corves of ore disappear each day. But nobody could just come along and take them. We keep a close watch on everything. The unreported corves must be going out to smelting works with the rest of the ore. That means...
What does it mean?
that this is fraud of colossal proportions, and that Foreman Fett and Herman the ore merchant are in it up to their ears.
What are we going to do about it?
Well, we need to make them tell us more, but carefully. Being involved in the theft of silver is a capital crime, so it should be in their own interest to cooperate. Make sure to promise them no one will know about their crime. You can mention my name. When you've talked to them, come back to me and we'll figure out what to do next.
Gepriesen sei der Herr.
We need to talk, Herman.
And who might you be?
Henry. But that's not important. Sir Christian sent me. We found some discrepancies in the mine book.
Discrepancies?
How do you explain that the miner has extracted 100 corves of ore on the Feast of St. Petronilla, but the book only says 90?
If it says 90, there must have been 90. The book does not lie.
Or someone is writing down false numbers and hiding 10 corves.
I do not write anything in the book myself. Foreman Fett counts the corves here. Go and talk to him instead.
Don't tell me you don't count them too. You wouldn't pay for more corves than there really were.
Do you have any idea how much ore passes through my hands? How am I supposed to remember how many there were ausgerechnet on the Fest of St. Petronilla? Besides, miners can lie and say they extracted more than they did. They like to show off.
All 3 crews agreed to report more. I seriously doubt that. Look, you don't have to be afraid to tell the truth. Me and Sir Christian agreed to settle the matter quietly. We're not going to punish anyone.
I am innocent. It was Fett's idea. He came to me saying we were going to deliver more corves to the smelters than we would report, and I would get paid for it. It was going well. I have always paid for what we put in the book. Then I got some geld from Fett on the side. On the feast of St. Petronilla, I was afraid they would be able to tell the difference. 10 corves is 10 corves after all. Nobody at the smelting works cared at all. I am sure they are in on it too.
How long has this been going on?
Several months, maybe half a year. About since Sigismund arrived.
Is Ulrich Vavak behind this?
The Mint Master? I have no idea. I am a mere assayer. I have never even met Vavak.
Sir Christian and I agreed to investigate the matter in secret, so just act like nothing's going on. Keep doing what you're doing. We don't want to scare off the people who are actually responsible. Understand?
Yeah, I understand. I will be as silent as the grave.
Ka!
A word, Foreman.
Who are you? And what do you want?
I'm Henry, but that's not important. Sir Christian sent me. I need to discuss a delicate matter with you.
Don't tell me one of the yakkers shat all over the outhouse in the yard again.
I'm afraid it's a little worse than that. We found some discrepancies in the mine book.
Let Sir Christian handle it then. They're his books, and his responsibility too.
But you're the one counting the corves of ore.
Your point being?
I learned that the miners extracted no less than 100 corves on the Feast of St. Petronilla, but the mine book says 90.
Do you think the yakkers know how to count? They're blockheads. And they like to show off. I'm sure they just exaggerated. Anyway, what's it to you? Did the steward send you to snoop around? Don't you know? I work for Vavek, the mint master himself. I'm under his protection.
Aye, there's no point in denying it. Herman told me everything.
Bloody snitch.
He had no choice. If you tell me everything you know right now, you'll go unpunished. I can guarantee that in Sir Christian's name.
Keva, you're all I need. As soon as I was made head gaffer, Amara, who works at the smelting works in Grund, came to me. He said someone wanted to talk to me. One of them. So I met this fella in the tavern in Grund, and he told me how it all works. How to cut the books like. He told me the trick was not to report some of the extracted ore, and transport it secretly to the smelters, along with the rest. He made it very clear, if I didn't play along, I could have an accident. There was nothing I could do.
Who was that fella from the smelter who came to you?
He never told me his name, even when I asked. He's a tall bloke, stocky, pockmarked. I don't scare easy, but this bloke was terrifying.
How long has this been going on?
For some time now, definitely. I heard even former head gaffer Kircher was in on it too.
Where can I find him?
You can't ask Kircher any questions. He fell down a shaft. They say he was drunk. But I don't think it was an accident.
Who pays you on the side? You have to pay the miners for what they actually extracted.
I get the extra chink from the smelting works. It's enough for the yakkers and for Herman.
Do you think the mint master, Ulrich Vavak, is behind this?
I don't know. I've got naught bad to say about Vavak. He treats me canny whenever he shows up. He says if Christian gives us hassle, he'd sooner replace him than me. He really said that. The mint master himself.
All right. Just carry on as if nothing's happened. No one must find out we know about the fraud. Christian won't give you any trouble, nor will anyone else. Is that clear?
Clear as a bell, Mara. I'll be silent as the grave.
I talked to Fett and Herman.
And? Did they confess?
They did. I mean, I made them. It's just as we thought. The trail leads to the smelting works.
Did you tell them to keep quiet and act as if nothing's happening?
I did.
Let's see what we've got so far. Those 10 unreported calves leave for the smelting works from here. If silver's going missing, that's where it must be happening. You'll have to go and look around, and talk to the owner, Buresh. I reckon that'll be tricky, though.
How so?
Buresh is a very cautious and clever man. I reckon he won't be happy to have someone snooping around his property. But he's the only one who can give you permission to walk round the smelting works without the guards bothering you.
Something like your letter of safe conduct. How can I persuade him to give me one?
Like I said, it won't be easy. Nevertheless, I found a way you could gain his trust, at least a little. You'll pretend to be a nobleman interested in buying some smelting works, who'd like to get a closer look at his operation.
A nobleman this time, then?
But be careful. Buresh won't be as easily fooled as the simple pitman here. You'll have to dress like a real nobleman. That means no plate armor, or, God forbid, bloody rags. But listen, don't carry a weapon. Buresh has a morbid fear of someone threatening him. That's why he has a bodyguard with him at all times. You must come to him dressed to the nines and act impeccably, so as not to arouse the slightest suspicion. In short, be charismatic. As charismatic as you can manage.
What should I wear?
Like I said, some decent clothes. I reckon you can imagine what those look like. If you don't have anything of the sort, visit a tailor in town. I'm sure he can sell you something nice. If you're charismatic enough, Buresh is sure to believe your intentions are good. And make sure you wash up before you go. You can't go and see him looking like some dung-soiled peasant.
What else should I know about the smelting works before I go?
In the smelting works, ore from the mines is crushed, ground, and then smelted. They extract silver along with all sorts of other materials from it. Then they give part of the silver to the king for the minting of groschen, and sell off the rest, along with the other materials, to craftsmen.
What should I know about this Buresh before I talk to him?
He's the slyest fox of them all. He comes from somewhere in Moravia, and he moved to Kuttenberg a few years ago. He started to prosper soon after, and not even Sigismund's arrival stopped him. He quickly joined his side. Now he's doing better and better. But whether that means he's involved in something shady, who knows?
I got it. I'm ready to go.
Here, I've written you a letter of introduction to take with you and give to Buresh. I reckon he won't be thrilled, but he won't turn you down. Ask him discreetly, in passing, how many corves he took from our mines on the feast of St. Petronilla. If my guess is correct, it should be 90. It still doesn't prove anything, but at least it'll give us a clue. You could get something out of the workers. One of them is bound to know something. When you're in the smelting works, keep your eyes peeled. I'm sure something is going on there. Good luck, Henry.
I wonder how long I'll be stuck here today.
A poorly dressed yokel like you should only talk to other yokels.
Why
What's
is
this
all
dirty
sticky?
beggar doing
What
here?
kind of pig was
I don't
sitting
talk
here?
to nobodies.
Greetings, Master Buresh. I'm Henry of Scalitz.
Nice clothes. You've got good taste.
Thank you, Goodman. Likewise, Christian of Pisek sent me. I'm supposed to give you this letter with his testimonial.
Scalitz, you say? That's where the royal mines are. Am I right?
You are. Unfortunately, the mining has ceased since King Sigismund's attack.
That truly is unfortunate. Christian writes that your family is interested in running a smelter. But I'm not selling any.
I'd still be interested in buying one. Perhaps I could change your mind.
I doubt it. I'd be a fool to give up a profitable business. But if you like, you can visit one of my operations. I'll allow you that much. With this letter of safe conduct, you'll be able to move around unfettered. The guards will recognize my seal. But I don't want you disturbing the workers with any unnecessary questions. If you want to know anything, ask me.
Can you tell me what happens with the mined ore in the smelting works?
We weigh in the delivered ore and crush it so that it can be sorted for roasting. Roasting mainly separates sulfur from the ore, which is why the place smells like hell itself. Then the roasted material is smelted in the furnace and the slag is separated from the matte. The smelting process is repeated until we're left with pure metal. It's then cast into bars that can be sold. After we've given the royal share to the king, that is.
How many corves of ore do you process here per day?
We don't measure in corves here. I have several ore merchants working for me. They buy ore from various mines. When they deliver it here, we don't measure it by the corf, but weigh by the quintal. We process a large amount here, up to several thousand quintals a day in total.
How much silver does that make?
That, of course, depends on the quality of the ore we process that day. 20 quintals of ore usually yield about a pound of raw silver. That then yields a hryvnia of pure silver. We can make between 100 and 200 hryvnias of pure silver per day.
Can any silver go missing from here?
That's impossible. Everything is carefully weighed and recorded. Every step is counted and checked. Besides, molten silver is rather hard to steal. Once it's cast into bars, we keep them safe under lock and key.
How many corves were delivered from Horsham, say, on the Feast of St. Petronilla?
Why from Horsham, of all places?
I visited the mine there. They told me they'd extracted quite a large amount.
You're lucky. I have an excellent memory. It was a lot indeed. 90 corves.
God be with you, Goodman.
Don't forget, there are limits to my permission. And above all, mind you don't have an accident. Smelters are dangerous places. Well, see you later. Have a good evening.
I'm sorry.
What does your job actually entail?
You mean smelting? Well, in the scrusher, we scrush the ore brought from the mound and chuck it in the furnace. Then we shovel charcoal in till the stone gets proper roasting and leaks all the metal that was hidden inside. We do that ore and ore in other furnaces till we get pure silver out of the ore.
How do you like working in the smelter?
I can't complain at all, sir. We get a nice pile of chink from the yield, and we're dry and warm.
What can you tell me about Master Buresh?
I can't complain about him, sir. He's an honest bloke, and he pays us well. From what I've heard from the other smelters, it's a lot worse elsewhere, like.
Have you noticed anything suspicious around here?
Nothing. Nothing at all. I graft all day, no time for looking around.
Does any silver go missing from here?
Yeah. In our smelter, that would mean some of our lads are involved in. You get the rope for that. Look, Sonny, I don't want anything to do with this. Have a chat with Shima over there. He's not afraid of anything.
I apologize.
I reckon it'll be a late one again.
Good dog. Good boy.
All the delivered ore is here in one place. Nothing suspicious. It looks like it must be pure silver that's going missing. So this is how they crush ore in bulk. A quarf here, a quarf there. Now I can see why no one found the large quantity strange. So this is how they crush ore in bulk. A quarf here, a quarf there. Now I can see why no one found the large quantity strange. All the delivered ore is here in one place. Nothing suspicious. It looks like it must be pure silver that's going missing.
God! Quick!
Whoa!
My humble respects.
Are you the fella they call Shima?
And who are you?
Henry of Skalitz. Master Buresh sent me.
Master Buresh, you say? And why did he send you?
I'm interested in the operations of the smelter.
What would you like to know?
What does your job entail?
Here in the smelter, the extracted ore turns into pure silver right under our hands. Bloody miracle, right? Horse shit. It's an awful, filthy fucking graft for a few miserable groschen. If I could, I'd fuck off somewhere over the hills. But I've a family, and they don't ask me what I really want.
How do you like working in the smelter?
It's a shitty fucking job. My back aches something awful from shoveling heaps of ore back and forth. You're always breathing stive from the furnace, and then you cough your soul out after the shift is over. We'll all be crippled wrecks in a few years. That's how it is.
What can you tell me about Master Buresh?
Well, I don't really want to talk about him. Sorry. I could say something I'd sorely fucking regret.
What happens to the silver from the smelting works?
The bars are kept under lock and key in a safe place until a merchant or the blokes from the mint come and get them. Only the owner of the smelter and a handful of select people have access to them, such as the foreman of the works who checks the purity.
Does any silver go missing from here, by any chance?
Why should I talk to you about such things? How can I know it's not a trap?
I'm no threat to you. I won't mention your name to anyone. All I need is for you to point me in the right direction. That's all.
All right. I'll trust you. Listen up, then. It's Volkmar. He's the head smelter. He's worked with us for years. Recently, he bought stables here in Grund, out of the blue. The entire stables. Where do you think he got the money? It's all very suspicious, because he's the one with the best access to the finished silver bars. If you want to find out where the silver keeps going missing, go to him. I'll bet you he knows a thing or two about it. But be careful, and keep a weapon close. People like him can be vicious.
Thank you.
Stop that whistling. You behave like a child.
Quick!
Whoa! Whoa! Ooh.
Quick!
Whoa! Ooh. Whoa!
Quick!
Easy! Easy! you Volkmar?
I'm not.
Horseshit. I know these stables are yours.
You must be the snoop who's sticking his nose in everything.
I beg your pardon?
Well, well, well. Don't think we don't know you've been snooping around. We've had our eyes on you ever since you came to Grund. Fortunately, Master Buresh warned me about you in time. Your investigation ends. Right here and now.
You shouldn't have stuck your nose in here, pal. Grund is ours.
Take him down!
Real brave when you're 3-on-1, eh? You wouldn't be so brave alone, would you? You'd shit your brains.
I'll shit on you. I could take you on blindfold. Get out of here. He's mine. I'll get you.
Now, spill the beans. You're responsible for stealing the king's silver.
Not me. It's Buresh. If I didn't play along with him, I'd lose my job. All my life. It's true. As Volkmar is my name, I swear on everything that's holy.
Take it from the beginning.
As head smelter, I test the quality of the silver that's been smelted every day. I have unrestricted access to it. One day, Buresh came to me and said he had an offer for me. He said if I accepted, he'd make me rich. He gave me his man to assist me. I'd take some of the king's silver bars and add them to Buresh's yield. The books were cooked, so no one found out anything. Everything was going well, and Buresh was happy. A few weeks later, he sent me to the mines. I was supposed to make a deal with the new foreman, Fett, and pay him off. In the end, I had to force him to cooperate, just like Buresh forced me. Oh, with threats.
Why didn't Buresh take the silver himself? Why did he need you?
The Mint Master's men watch over the transport of the king's silver. They take turns. Buresh had it all figured out.
Aren't you ashamed to steal from the king?
And which king did I steal from exactly? Wenceslas or Sigismund? I didn't care, man. I earned some nice chink, and that was that for me.
Moving on, where does the unreported silver go?
There are mined-out shafts near Old Kutna, where nobody ever goes. Buresh has a secret mint in one of them.
They counterfeit coins in there?
I suppose so. But what they actually do there, I've no idea. I've never been there. Buresh only told me about the mint a while ago. He wanted to send me there for some reason, so he drew me a map.
Did Buresh ever mention that Mint Master Vavak was involved in it?
Not in front of me. Maybe his guard, Little Neri, knew something. But you won't be able to ask him anything anymore.
Give me the map.
Yeah, if you take the road to Old Kutna, you'll reach the place where the abandoned shafts are. The entrance to the mint is somewhere around there. Look here. Can I ask you a question? Why are you doing this anyway?
I'm convinced Mint Master Vavak is somehow involved in the whole affair. I'm looking for proof.
No, I can't help you there. I never heard Buresh say nothing about Vavak. Well, now you have the map, and since I told you everything, will you let me go? Please? I know I wanted to, you know, but I was just scared is all. Please let me go, please. Stables be damned, just let me go.
I'm quite sure you have coin. So pay up, and you'll be free.
Here, take it all. Thank you. I'll go to Kuttenberg and get fixed up there somehow. And if we meet again, I'll make it up to you. I swear, you're a good, merciful man. God be with you.